Live from beautiful Ohio, it's the OK Boomer podcast, featuring siblings, the real Jean and Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Jean.
And we are here to encourage all you boomers, millennials, and everyone in between to be happily okay.
And Laura, we do hope that you and all our friends are okay, because we can't fist bump today. We have to elbow bump, and actually we can't even elbow bump.
I know, Jean, this is kind of tough for us because we love being together and fist bumping, elbow bumping, every kind of thing. But we are having you phone in today remotely. So we hope we sound all right to everybody. This is just a new world, isn't it?
It certainly is a new world. And I guess I'll explain how this all came about, although I'm sure you can guess. As you know, we, like many podcasters, record episodes a little bit ahead of time. So we're sure to keep up with the schedule. Well, we are recording this. What's today's date, Laura, when you and I are doing this?
Every day seems alike, truthfully. But today is Sunday, March 22nd, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure either. Thank you. All right. So for the record, we are recording on March 22nd. And this for us here in Ohio, beautiful Ohio.
Still beautiful. It is so sunny out, so we are enjoying that. Thank you for that.
Beautiful. I don't know. Is it spring already?
Well, it's officially spring.
Good. And it looks like officially spring. Great.
Right.
So in addition to spring, this starts the second week of the serious coronavirus restrictions.
Yes.
Restaurants are closed. We are staying home and following all the guidelines, cleaning all surfaces, not touching our face.
No, which is really tricky. Your face just itches all the time. It is so hard not to touch, but I've gotten better at it.
I have too. I have too. One thing I noticed was those itches do go away quicker than you would think without touching.
Surprisingly. Yes, it is amazing. I mean, you had that moment of, oh my gosh, I've got to itch that thing on my nose, and voila, a couple seconds later, it disappears.
Right. Of course, it's switched now to your eyebrow or your...
Right, and my darn bangs just all the time. I feel like flipping. In fact, the other day when we took a hike,
yes,
I grabbed a twig off of a tree because I knew it was untouched.
Oh,
Always just looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? But I said I need a bang mover. My bangs were in my eyes, so I carry my twig, and when I feel that need to flip my bangs, I use my twig.
Once again, you are ready for Shark Tank. Not only are you ready for the virus, but you've done it again.
A bang mover, yes.
How about the hand washing? How's that going for you?
Oh, I'm so diligent about singing happy birthday twice and to just switch it up a little. I'm now singing Three Blind Mice twice.
Three Blind Mice twice? Aren't you nice?
Yes, it's so much fun. Yep.
How about, have you considered using Bohemian Rhapsody or maybe that Great Lakes favorite, the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald? Now those are long.
You'd be at the sink all day, but your hands would be clean.
Yes. So that's our reality. Here we are. We don't know what life will be like when this podcast is available in April. But Laura, we can't really dwell on the virus, right? It is what it is. And we want to stay happy.
You bet.
We have fun things to share. So let's pray that we're all doing well, and we'll get on with the shoe.
On with the shoe, indeed.
Remotely. And maybe should we confess to our listeners that it was a little bit hard for us two boomers to set up this high tech?
It took a little while. We tried it once, and dear Jean, it was this teeny tiny voice out in the remote distance.
Yes.
So, but yeah, through many phone calls and hanging up and this and that and experimenting with our OHs, here we be.
Here we
Tech
be.
girls as we are. Yes.
So let's do what we usually do. Let's talk about our week.
I would love to.
Oh, good. And I know you really have the wonderful news to share. But if you don't mind, I'm going to just like squeeze in first. This was my little.
Because I'm at the edge of my seat wanting to share my news, but I will wait.
I know. And if you just have to finally blurt it out, if I'm droning on and on, just go ahead, blurt it out. That's fine.
Would love to. All right, but I'll try real hard. Go ahead, Jean. How was your week?
Yes, and I'm probably going to go back a week or two because you and I haven't seen each other since we were both together in sunny Florida.
Oh, that was so delightful, just drifting through the lazy river.
Talking to lifeguards.
Chatting with so many lifeguards. It was fun, yes.
It was very fun. Well, after you left, we continued, you'll be proud of me, I continued my lounge chair and lazy river routine, walking, relaxing. And we did venture out. That was still when you could venture out. In fact, I didn't even really think about that.
You left the premises?
We did. And just a few weeks ago, boy, it seemed fine to do. So we went to the Strawberry Festival.
Da-da-dum!
Yes, which is a favorite of mine. You can have and it's a big strawberry farm, kind of world renowned, I would say. And you line up and you can order a bowl of strawberries or a bowl of strawberries with whipped cream or strawberries, whipped cream, ice cream, or strawberries, whipped cream, ice cream, shortcake. I get the whole thing.
Well, why wouldn't you? Now, do they have strawberry pie?
No, that's it. They have those combos of berries.
Well, then I would do the whole schmeal like you did.
I did. It was delicious. And as a special treat we've added on the way home, because sometimes it takes a while to drive back to Orlando on the I-4, as people say, we buy fresh strawberry milkshakes to enjoy on the way home. They are so good. They are so good. Yes, and they cost $2.50. So they're just wonderful. They couldn't be better.
That sounds amazing.
So all too soon, we packed up and headed home, started driving home. And by that time, as I recall, I was getting a little bit like, ooh, I kind of want to get home and see what the stores are like. What is going on with this virus? So the second day of our trip, when we're about halfway home, I'll say, I have just a little story to share that I think you'll find a little positive life lesson from. Are you in the mood for a life lesson?
No, I don't like life lessons, but go ahead.
Be honest.
All right, fine, a life lesson.
My sim is honest, or just God's providence.
All right, that sounds good.
How about God's providence?
It's a Sunday, yes.
So our last day driving home, we decided to live it up one more time. As I said, not knowing what we were going to face when we got home. We stopped at Dairy Queen, and we each got a blast. We love those Dairy Queen blasts.
Yes. You didn't get the peanut butter parfait?
No, which is high on my list, but I've gotten into these blasts. I got the Snickerdoodle blast. That's the one where they mix it all up in the cup. Then they hold the cup upside down. And
isn't it called a blizzard?
Oh, is it a blizzard?
Maybe. I don't know.
It is a blizzard. Sorry about that.
But you had a blast with your blizzard.
Let's say that. That won't be. We're not quite to the life lesson, but I like that phrase. Blizzard.
Sorry, I'm about ready to drone in with my.
I know.
My news. Get on with it, Jean. Get on with it.
I'm feeding it up. Okay, so she holds it up in front of you so you can see it doesn't fall out. All right, we get in the car. We're driving. I am just enjoying mine so much. But I look over and see Paige is having trouble driving 70 miles an hour, holding on to his, what are they called, blizzards?
Yes, I can just picture him. Okay.
Right, and that's just not working. And I thought, I was just ready to say to him, hon, can I hold it for you? Can I feed it? Should we just pull over at the next rest stop? When we came up out of the blue, we came upon a construction zone. And
Okay.
for the next 10 minutes, we had to drive slowly, 5 miles an hour through this construction zone, which normally would have flipped us out, but it was perfect timing because Paige could easily eat his blizzard, blast, whatever it's called, tornado, while driving 5 miles an hour through the construction zone. And as soon as he finished eating it, the construction zone ended and we speeded happily on our way.
Well, praises. I have to say that actually is a very good life lesson.
Yes, tell me what you learned.
It is all God's timing. That
Right.
sometimes we think we have a problem, but if we just hold off, God makes it that it all unfolds beautifully in His timing. That's a pretty good one.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. And I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead and share your news.
Is it time? I've let the horns and the trumpets proclaim. Bum, 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 bum. Guess what happened to me this past week? Well, you know, but the listeners may not. We had a baby arrive on Pi Day, March 14th, which is Pi Day 3.14, which for people who like math, we love things like this. It's a little baby boy, and he's just beautiful and perfect, and I'm a grandmother. I am a grandmother. Happy baby and my daughter are healthy, family's healthy. It's just the most wonderful feeling in the world.
That's probably a feeling. I'm trying to imagine it, and I'm getting close to imagining it because I'm delighted to be a great aunt, and I've loved seeing the pictures that have been sent. And I thought about you just every hour of last weekend.
Yes. I mean, it's just a thrilling feeling, and I would love to hear from all the new grandmas out there. How do you feel? What do you do? What are the special things you do as a grandma for your little babies and for your, well, it could be millennial children who are having these little grandbabies for us, but just would love some advice on how to be the best grandma in the world. So if you want to let me know that would be great, and we'll share that in an upcoming podcast.
Oh, let's do that, Laura. Although I don't think you're going to have any problem at all being the best grandma in the world. You are the best grandma in the world, but yeah, you might get some fun ideas and encouragement, and let's share the joy. So
I know, I'm real excited. In fact, one dear friend, I thought this was the nicest thing. Two friends. One gave me this adorable picture frame for my first pictures, and that was very sweet of her.
Yeah.
And then another friend gave me this really pretty little white box, and it's Grandma's magic box. And I can put special things in it, and then when grandkids come, we can pull out this fun little magic box.
Oh,
I know.
I love that.
I know.
I'm going to give you a box for me. I want you to do that for me, too.
All right. Sounds good.
Not for the baby,
good.
for me. For you and me. When I come over, I'll have a box.
You mean just you and me? Like a sibling box?
Yes, and then when I come over, I'll have a box of fun things to open. No, I'm kidding. No, it would be fun. Well,
It would
happy
be
baby,
fun.
and I'm sure in we can look forward to more podcasts about our little joy.
You better believe it. It's so wonderful, especially during these times. It's just nice to have this beautiful new life. So thank you, God. Thank you for babies.
Laura, you're my resident scientist.
Yes. Love sciencey things.
I do too, but I don't know them like you do at all. So I have something to ask you. May I ask you a sciencey question?
Please do, because I miss subbing. The schools are closed, so I'll pretend like you're in my class. Yes, Jean.
Oh, thank you. And no life lesson here. Maybe there is a life lesson, but here is my question. I have been reading about something that interested me. Now, I don't know if it'll interest you, but I've read that our body temperature is changing.
It is changing, and not from hot flashes. It's just overall in our world changing. Can you believe that?
Right, we're no longer 98.6?
Well, if you took your temperature today, it would probably still read 98.6, but it might read just a skosh. That's a very scientific term. Just a skosh less. Did you know? And I think this is so fascinating, especially with everybody taking their temperatures in the last couple of weeks. And in fact, we were running around looking for thermometers for my daughter's home a couple of weeks ago, just to be sure everyone is very healthy. Nobody has one, but they thought it would be good to have a thermometer. Did you know? So that's why this topic interests me so much, that we are actually slowly, as a population, getting cooler.
I think that's what that article was saying, but really?
Yes, really. I find this amazing. And the reasons are, ever since the 19th century, people have gotten taller. They've gotten a little heavier. Imagine that. And our metabolic rates have actually lowered a little bit.
Our metabolic rate. So how our body burns energy, is that what that is?
Yes. So our basal, I think it's called metabolic rates, have gone down over the centuries, which I guess makes our body temperature just slightly lower. Now, it also said that there are less diseases we're all fighting off. Ironically, of course, we have this new COVID-19 we're all trying to fight off.
Wow.
Yeah, so kind of ironic. But over the last centuries, we have fought off syphilis, TB, our periodontal, our dentistry work is better, so we have less infections and diseases from our oral care that's improved. So all of this, which is good, causes less inflammation in all of us, which lowers our temperature. Because the healthier we are, I guess, obviously when we're sick, fighting disease, our temperature goes up. But actually, as a population, we've gotten healthier and have had less diseases to fight off. So our body temperatures have come down a little bit.
And does this mean they'll stay down?
Yes. Overall, our base temperatures are coming down, which I just find fascinating. And again, folks, if you're taking your temperature, it will still probably come up right around 98.6. But if it's a little bit lower, that's okay.
And if we took like everybody's temperature in beautiful Ohio, it might now average a skosh, as you said, a skosh lower?
Yeah, a skosh lower. Now, how the COVID-19, I don't know that would affect it at all at this point. But yes, I'm going with overall, we are a healthy, good population, and our base body temperature is a little bit lower.
And I liked, I was chuckling to myself what you said about it's nothing to do with hot flashes. That was great.
Correct. Although, I shouldn't even admit this, I'm pretty much on the other side of hot flashes.
So you're feeling warm. You're still holding up the average.
Yes. Haven't quite lowered it completely. But moving on. This is what happens. I'm a grandmother now. I got to admit all this.
Yeah. So I wonder what, like, as your our little baby grows up, that'll be interesting to see what his temperature is.
It will be. It really will be. Like when will it no longer be 98.6, but maybe 98.3. I don't know.
And then if we start talking and saying like, oh, remember when our temperatures were 98.6, and everybody will say, okay,
hey, boomer. Yeah. Yeah, that may be one of those things. Or our dear millennial children someday will be talking to their kids, and they'll say, okay, millennial.
That'll be the day. That's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We can chat about that in the home someday.
No, looking forward to it. Well, thank you. I love your sciencey talks. You know so much about that. But I've been looking for things to do this week besides just clean out the basement, which I haven't done, or clean out the garage, not done that either. But what else could we be doing? Crafts. Are you into crafts?
Oh dear, the word crafts. Some people are just so wonderful at this. And
They are.
I'm really not. Now, when I was really little, I
Uh-huh.
feel like I did the paper folding, origami, whatever it's called. Maybe made a bird one time I was thrilled with.
Good. Yes.
And I also tried macrame. I remember thinking, I can learn to tie knots.
Yes. Yeah, you did. And we had something hanging up in our, as they call it, rec room.
Yes.
That you made. Remember the rec room?
I don't know if our kids even know what a rec room is, but right, it used to be the fun family room in the basement, pretty much.
And we had your origami.
Of course. And my macrame.
Yes. And
I don't think we hung my paper birds
oh,
anywhere.
probably not. Maybe you didn't make enough to.
But I knew how to make a mean square knot.
Okay, and that's not what you need. So, would you be interested in doing that now?
Oh, heavens, no. No,
How
not
about
at all.
sewing?
No.
Like my sister-in-law is just marvelous at quilting and sewing. Just marvelous.
Well, God love her. In fact, I have a favorite little jacket that you gave me. It's wonderfully lightweight, but keeps me warm, good for these spring days. And I sadly noticed my pocket it's come loose a little bit.
Oh.
And I thought, I'm home here. We're self-quarantining. I have plenty of time to sew up this pocket.
Sure.
But it's kind of giving me just the jitters to think about the fact that I have to find my needle and thread.
And then thread it. Is that what's really giving you the jitters?
Yeah, I'm not sure I can see anymore to thread it,
right.
but yeah. So
All
no,
right,
I'm not crafty at all. Not at
How
all.
about, remember this? Another thing from our past. Remember stenciling on walls? Remember that?
Yes. I do remember that. In fact, I stenciled the last time I stenciled, and I will tell you exactly when.
Oh my! Okay.
I believe it was 1993.
All right.
And how do I know this? Because my daughter was moving into her big girl room. Twins were born. They were big enough. We were moving kids around. And I thought, I will stencil the top of her room. And I did. It was
What did
pretty.
you do? What did you put up?
I put on these pretty little roses. It was just delightful. I thought it was perfect. Worked hard on that. In fact, Jean,
Yes.
I remember this was in the days of, oh, help me. Our phones that we could take around with us, but they weren't phones like this. They weren't, help me. It was like a cordless phone.
Okay. Yes.
A cordless phone, still one of the phones in your landline system. I remember putting in like the earplug, whatever things, and walking around and talking to Mom and stenciling my whole room.
Well, so you do remember that.
Oh, it's vivid. It's vivid.
And I don't think stenciling's really a thing now, is it?
No, in fact, sadly, now in real estate, if I see somebody's gorgeous stenciled work, I say, maybe repaint it.
Well, that's what happens. So see, that's what reason maybe not to craft. You know what? Your daughter really makes beautifully decorated cookies. Would that be considered a craft?
I think so. I mean, they're gorgeous. When we say nicely decorated cookies, we're talking.
They're
phenomenal. Now we'll see if she has time now that she has a baby.
I was going to say that when you were talking about the stenciling. I was going to say, think about that, Laura. You had 3 little kids, and you were able to stencil, and now here we are home with hours and hours and hours of time, and threading a needle seems too.
I am panicked about a simple little mending. Sewing mending. People don't really talk about that much anymore.
No. How about journaling? You think journaling is something you do? I think you told us once before. What is it you keep track of? That's kind of journaling. What is it?
I did. This is the extent of my journaling, and I did mention it. I have a calendar, just the big sheet monthly calendars, and I just write in it for each little square block where we ate dinner and what it was. Which is great, because it's kind of a way of seeing where was I on March 22nd while I was at home. figuring out meals from food in my freezer that I could put together.
No,
But
that's a good idea. And you don't forget some things if you liked it or
right.
Yeah.
And food, you know how important food is to me.
It
So
is.
I just, there's nothing that frustrates my brain cells more than when I'm saying, remember that restaurant? Oh, what was it called? And I had that dish, but what was it? Now I just go to my journal.
Great. And now you have an alibi.
Yes, that's true. I do have an alibi
You
should I
never
ever
have
need
to
it.
worry when the police ask you where were you, you'll know.
I'll pull it out and say I was at the Outback eating my steak.
And bloomin' onion.
Oh,
Well,
you
here's
betcha.
a craft you might really like. Okay, here, are you ready? I have
Yes.
something. Okay, this might be perfect for you.
Okay.
Are you ready for Swedish death cleaning?
Oh, good grief. That sounds very morbid.
It
No,
does.
I'm not ready for it.
Well, we may continue this discussion, but what the point is that you're not just tidying for tidying's sake. You're tidying to really help yourself organize your life and make it easier for your relatives. So you're going through everything with a sense of having nice closure. Okay. I'm done.
Okay, so it's sort of preparing for when I move to the home someday.
Oh, even beyond the home. But yes, the home would be a good step. That maybe you don't want to take every picture your children colored.
Yeah.
For
So our
example.
kids don't have to walk into my house and go, oh dear, where do we even begin?
Right, but instead they'll find a nice little box with your favorite mementos.
Yeah, my
Yes.
magic grandma box.
Oh my gosh, you tied it all together. You
I am good
you
at that.
have tied the whole craft segment together. It's all about boxes.
It is about boxes.
Well
I like
done,
that.
Laura.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I am going to suggest a quote for you. Since you've just summed this up so well, I really like how you tied the bow on the top of this box of a podcast.
Oh
Do you
my
re-
gosh, listen to you.
I know, you've been
Tied
wonderful.
on the box of a podcast.
Oh,
All right,
it's a beautiful
continue.
bow. So,
Woo! Yeah.
do you remember our grandmother
Yes.
would say, it's a great life if you don't weaken. Do you
Oh, I
remember that?
love that phrase. In fact, I use that phrase a lot. My kids, I believe, know it well. And it is a great life if you don't weaken.
Well, I was trying to find out, and maybe you thought about this too. And yes, I do agree. It is a great life if you don't weaken, but you should weekend. Don't weaken. Okay. I kind of made it, I kind of misspoke. It's a great life if you don't weaken.
Weaken. Get
No.
right. Slow
So
down.
I looked
Yeah.
up on Google, since I didn't know if this would be a question I could ask you or not. Maybe I could have, but I looked up,
Yes.
to see who really said this. Was it something my grandmother invented, or
I always thought it was.
And
It
as it
wasn't?
turns out, many other people think that as well. I found several blogs where people could recall their dad or their grandma saying this, and they all thought the same thing. Was this something that dear sweet Grandma Mabel said? Well, she may have said it, but the quote is attributed to John Buchanan, first
Really?
Baron of Tweedsmuir and Governor General of Canada.
Get out of here.
I know.
This
He
is
said
not
it.
my dear grandmother saying.
Well, but it's fine that she adopted it, but they think
Wow.
it came from him.
Wow.
He may have been saying it in regards to settling in Canada, because that would have been a challenge, right? Cold and lots of
Yes.
forests. And
Yes. Lots of lumber to cut
Only-
down.
only a few handsome Mounties to help you. So it may have been, that's why he said it, but it is a great quote, and I think it's a great quote for right now today.
It is. Quite true. It is a great life if you don't weaken.
And with that, Laura,
Yeah.
I think it's been fabulous talking to you today. I loved it.
I
always
loved
love
it
talking.
too. And we thank all of you for listening. We definitely thank our dear Pat at Speak Up Talk Radio. I mean, she is just always wonderful putting these together for us. And you can find us at okboomerpod.com. or OK_Boomer podcast on all your favorite app platforms. It's been fun, Jean.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo from Ohio. Bye.
Be sure to come back to beautiful Ohio and the OK Boomer podcast. To listen to previous episodes or to drop us a line, visit okboomerpod.com.